The Colombian national team at the Under 17 World Cup just tied Germany in their debut. Now, while it's disappointing that they didn't win, because I believe Colombia had created enough chances that had they just taken those shots, they would have maybe have won the game, because Germany's keeper was not, in my opinion, very good. He was very shaky. Colombia started this game losing, as you can see in the first minute. They were losing after 15 seconds. But the character of this team surprised me, and I'm impressed that they were one down, one nil down against Germany, but they managed to battle back the entire game, including in the first half. They dominated possession like 70% to 30%, and they were just continually pinning Germany back and applying pressure on Germany, and they made Germany play defensive football. Colombia had like 3 free kicks in the first half. Of course, none of those would actually amount to anything, but nonetheless, I'm very much surprised that this Colombian team battled back to tie the game. A beautiful goal from Catano. I believe it was the goalkeeper Mendoza, that actually had a long ball to Londoño. Londoño dribbled past numerous defenders, didn't take a shot, which surprised me. Uh, when he did, he was stripped. Christian Flores over here shot the ball directly to a defender. Defender rebounds the ball, and Catano gets the rebound and scores a beautiful goal to tie the game. Um, Again, I'm so impressed by this team's performance. Again, Germany is the reigning champs at this Under 17 World Cup, and they're a European team. European teams are usually the favorites at these tournaments. Not even at these tournaments, but in all football categories, European teams are their favorites. And to tie against Germany is a statement, in my opinion, for this Colombian team. If we look at it, Germany had more possession. Germany had one more big chance. Colombia outshot Germany. Mendoza made more saves than their keeper. Colombia had more corner kicks. Colombia also had more fouls. Germany received more fouls, I should say. They outpassed Colombia. Colombia out tackled them. Germany had more free kicks, and they both had the same amount of yellow cards. While Catano is gonna get the recognition for scoring a goal, and pretty much is going to be seen as the man of the match for Colombia, which he deserves because he did score the goal to tie the game. I want to focus on Christian Orozco, who, in my opinion, is looking to be the star. He's the captain of the team, but he looks to be the future star of this national team. I mean, just look at his defensive stats. Uh, he had 3 tackles out of 4, 2 clearances, 7 ball recoveries, won 6 out of 9 duels. Right? And I believe in terms of his passing, 76% accurate passing, 6 out of 8 accurate long balls, an accurate cross. Dribbling wise, he only had 2 unsuccessful touches out of 56. And yeah, he had 4 shots, didn't make a goal out of those shots, but I did like that he was attempting to shoot from long range, which is something that Colombian midfielders in all categories I see lack, is they don't have that tenacity to shoot from long range, from outside the box. Cristiano Rosco does have that mentality that he wants to score. Didn't score this game, but hopefully he does score in the upcoming games against El Salvador and North Korea. He's already signed to Manchester United, and next year he's going to be joining up with United. Most likely he's going to be loaned out to a mid-table team in some other league, but I believe this is one for the future. A lot of people compare him to Ecuador's Moises Caicedo, which in my opinion is a great comparison. And Moises Caicedo is a player I would love to have in the national team of Colombia. I feel like he's someone that would very much complement and complete Colombia's midfield. Him and Lerma would be a masterful duo in midfield. So to have Cristiano Orozco pretty much fulfilling that spot in the future for me is pretty welcoming. I would take that. Um, Another player that I want to highlight a bit more, obviously, we Mendoza. Mendoza was the one that initiated the attack, like I said before. And he's the keeper. He made 3 saves today. Um, he did have like once. He punched the ball once, which I didn't like toward the end of the game, which almost resulted in Germany getting the second goal. But aside from that, again, he made 3 saves. He initiated the goal for Colombia, and his long range passing is good. I think it's short range passing which needs a bit more work, because even without being pressured, he was making, not really doing well in terms of passing. He had a 51% accurate pass rating, which for me is not good enough if you're the keeper. He had 8 out of 25 long balls, but again, one of those long balls ended up being it resulted in the goal. I do expect more from certain players like Christian Flores, who I honestly like him a lot to Juan Guillermo Cuadrado. I like him a lot to that type of player, but he wasn't that good today. Wasn't that good. 67 accurate pass rating, really. Dribbling wise, he only had one successful dribble out of 3. Lost possession 13 times, which granted your offensive players are gonna lose the ball more, but it felt like nothing was really working for him. He only had like a couple of good plays in my opinion, so I expect more from him considering that he was very much one of the Colombia's better players at the under 17 Sudamericana where they got to the final. Uh, Defensively, he won 5 duels out of 11, 2 fouls, won a couple tackles. But again, for me, he wasn't that impactful in the game, and I think a player of his caliber should be more impactful for Colombia. If Colombia want to do more at this World Cup, and if they want to pretty much um, do something similar to what the under 20 did earlier, which was make the semifinals and finish third, he needs to show up. Another player I want to see more of is Santiago Londoño, who, granted, he was also part of the goal that Colombia scored, but for me, I didn't really notice him enough. He had 3 shots, but none of them were on target. He was missing headers that I thought he should have at least got on target. Honestly, that's what worried me the most. None of the shots were pretty much threatening to the keeper. In fact, he was wasting them, in my opinion. He did have a key pass, true, but again, you look at that 47% accurate pass rating, not good enough. Dribbling wise, 1 out of 2 dribbles, 13 times he lost possession, won a couple fouls, and then again 4 out of 12 duels won defensively, and a couple of interception and clearances. I feel like he was better defensively, honestly, than offensively. And again, Londoño and Flores for me are 2 players that need to turn up more if Colombia are to do something exceptional at this World Cup, which I do think this team can do. Um, Macias. Macias actually looked good offensively a bit when he went forward. He almost scored a solo goal by himself. Of course, I felt though at times he was wasteful with his passing. 73% accurate pass rating. 1 out of 3 long balls. Dribbles. 52 touches. Only 1 successful dribble. Lost possession 17 times and you're a fullback. 1 interception. Didn't win a single tackle. Made 3 clearances. 9 out of 17 duels won. So a bit of a mixed bag for Chris Macias. Another player that I think needs to step up a bit more if Colombia is to do something noteworthy at this World Cup. But all in all, the result's positive. Yes, you want to see Colombia win, but to tie when you start off losing, for me is, and again, you're playing one of the better teams in the tournament. For me, this is a great result for Colombia, and this puts them in a position where they can potentially finish first should they take care of business against North Korea and El Salvador. North Korea actually beat El Salvador, if I'm not mistaken, 5-0. So El Salvador looks to be the worst team in the group, and Colombia's gonna play them next. So heck, if I'm Colombia, Colombia has to pretty much blow out El Salvador. And I'm curious to see how North Korea looks against Germany, to see if North Korea, if they're actually the real deal, and if they actually will pose a threat to Colombia's aspirations to finish in first place. Remember, this is a 48 team tournament, so the best 8 teams that finish third actually make it to the round of 32. So this is gonna be pretty much a an indicator whether or not how the Senior World Cup is gonna look like, pretty much, because it's the same amount of teams, same amount of rounds. Again, Colombia got a draw against Germany, and keep an eye out for Cristiano Rosco, who I honestly can already tell should be one of the future stars of this national team. Again, they play on Friday. Hopefully, they can beat El Salvador, as North Korea demonstrated. They should. Well, all right. If you guys watch this, like the video or dislike it. Give a comment on your thoughts about this performance. And as always, un poquito de todo un poquito. Thank you guys, and have a nice day.